Hey guys, what's going on? So I got this. I just got this flashlight a couple days ago in the mail. This is the Lumintop Duke. I got this from Fast Tech, and it cost $39. Or this particular one cost $39, of course, with free shipping. It took about 3 weeks to get here, but leave me alone. I gotta take. Ow! What the hell's your problem? But it's not that China is slow. It's just they got so much stuff leaving that country. It's such a large country that it's kind of hard to get things done in a timely manner. And since this is my first Lumintop flashlight, I decided why not go with this cool looking designer thing that from far away looks like a thing of lipstick. So this was quite interesting to me because it says on the package, of course, it says, well, I'll read it from the package, not the phone. An oxidation oxide spot included may be found on the flashlight due to the material characteristics, and this is a normal phenomenon. In fact, this flashlight was inside this case, or inside this plastic right here. And the flashlight seems to be made of copper, brass, and carbon fiber. Now it says premium carbon fiber on the instructions. Now whether or not this is actual carbon fiber, I don't know. And it looks very similar to the carbon fiber that's on my Koenigsegg CCX. You know, my Koenigsegg that's in the garage. It's made out of carbon fiber, so it looks like this. You know, it's a little, little RC car, little remote control. So on a AA battery, you get 80 lumens on high. Yes, 80 lumens on high, I believe. Might be more than that. 6 lumens on low, and then with the 14500, you get 600 lumens on high, 80 lumens on medium, and 6 lumens on low. Now, one cool thing about this flashlight is the only other 14500 flashlight I've had was the old Jetbeam PA10, and it was 650 lumens, I believe, on a 14500. But when you use that lithium ion or 14500 cell, you couldn't use any of the other modes. All you were stuck with was pretty much high mode. So I think it's great that a lot of these newer flashlights, including this one, you can use pretty much every mode in each individual battery. It doesn't matter. So you can get all the same modes on the lithium as you can on the nickel metal hydride or nickel cadmium. Now it comes with, oh, that didn't come with it. It comes with this, which is basically a nice little holster for it. Not really a holster, but it's a little, I totally forgot what it was called. Anyways, you can put the put the flashlight in there. Of course, it comes with a cool little diffuser, spare O-rings, and then all that came in this little box right here. So I'm going to show you guys how to get to low, medium, and high. Now, I don't know about Strobe, SOS, and Signal or Beacon because it's kind of complex, and I've tried it at least a dozen times, and it works half the time, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. So, but it's in China. So here's basically the modes. It's pretty complex. I mean, when you follow the instructions, you know, from power off and you go to low mode and you hold the long press to strobe, it doesn't quite work that way. It might just be something that I'm doing, or maybe I'm not reading this right. I don't know. Now, first things first, I tested this flashlight on a 14500 last night. I ran it down, and then there's a new one inside here right now. And the regulation, the digital regulation on this flashlight is phenomenal. I've had this flashlight on for at least 40 minutes, not nonstop. This flashlight gets very hot very fast. But I was continuously playing with this flashlight quite a bit last night, and the battery pretty much didn't die. It lasted for quite some time, and it never really got dim. And I pulled the battery out of there, and I stuck the battery in my LUC charger over there, and it was sitting at about 3.5 volts. So the fact that this flashlight was still producing almost 600 lumens at 3.5 volts tells me that this flashlight is very, very well regulated. Which could also be a downfall too if you're using this thing in the dark. You don't know if the flashlight battery is dying until it just shuts off. So that is kind of the pros and the cons of digital regulation on the flashlights. Is, you know, on the older flashlights they kind of got dim, and so you could tell when the battery was dying. But on the flashlights that don't have low mode indicators, it's kind of hard to tell. So here was another thing that was kind of baffling to me because it kind of made me think I don't quite understand. So it looks to me like it's made out of several materials. Of course, you got aluminum at the top. I mean, this flashlight's pretty much made out of every material I can think of except for titanium. Of course, AR-coated lens, XP-L emitter. It's not the XP-L-HI, but it is the XP-L-HD. So it's not the high-intensity emitter, but it is still an XP-L. Now, it says carbon fiber. This obviously looks to be brass. It has to be brass since it's tarnishing. And it says on the package that it's tarnishing or oxidizing, so I believe that's brass. And then this, does this not look like copper? Now, the reason I ask, because I don't know a whole lot about copper. I know a lot about aluminum and titanium and stainless steel, but when it comes to copper, I've never really owned anything that was copper. So does that not look like copper? Pretty much looks like copper to me. And the reason I ask that is because it doesn't say anywhere in the instructions that it's made of copper. And of course, you can't opt to get the tritium, which is the fluorescent radioactive, I guess, in a way, glowing material that you can put in the back of this thing, but I actually forgot to order that with it, so I don't get the fluorescent material. known as tritium. But if you do buy this flashlight, then I would recommend getting the tritium because it looks cool and it's only like $1 more, I think. Now this flashlight is built very well, as with a lot of Lumintop flashlights. Like I said, this is my first Lumintop flashlight I've ever owned, so, but I like the heat sinking fins. Those actually look pretty interesting. LED is perfectly centered. This flashlight does put out a lot of heat because the reflector is so tiny and it is putting off 600 lumens. You can feel the heat pouring off the front of this thing, which means it does get hot very fast. Now there is no thermal regulation, so I do not believe it will shut down if it gets too hot, so just be careful. $39 for this flashlight. It's obviously not a mess up from a Fastech because the other ones are like $42 and $45. So if this is in fact made out of actual carbon fiber, copper, brass, and aluminum with an XP-L emitter, how could it be $39? Kind of doesn't make sense to me since brass and copper and carbon fiber are all expensive materials. So interesting. It looks to me like it does have reverse polarity protection because you can see the button top there and where the positive contact point is in the middle where that rubber is, or in between that rubber round O-ring looking thing. So I believe it is reverse polarity protection. So if you put this in positive first, I don't think it will work, and I think you will not worry about damaging your flashlight. Flat tops definitely won't work. So if you got flat top 14500s, they won't work. All right, so when the flashlight's completely off, just hold the button down to get into your ultra low mode, or I guess low mode. And then just basically push the button to cycle through the modes, medium and high. Now, once you've already cycled through the modes, it will not go back down to the low mode, medium, high, medium, high. Now you can see how clean that beam is. There's no artifacts or imperfections in the beam at all, and that's due to the fact that it is an orange peel reflector. Usually orange peel reflectors always give you a much cleaner and crisper beam than a smooth reflector. However, smooth reflectors can give you much better throw, but the fact that this is an orange peel reflector, it does give you a fantastic beam profile. And now, like I said, hold the button down. If you hold it down, it goes into your ultra low or low mode of 6 lumens. And then anytime you want to turn the flashlight off, if it's in low, medium, high, you just hold the button down and it turns off. Now, in order to get into low mode, you hold the button down. But if you want to just cycle through medium and high, then it's basically just a quick press. So that's medium and high. And it pretty much cycles between medium and high the whole time. So there is no mode memory. So all in all, I think this is a pretty cool flashlight. It looks neat. It has that designer look. It certainly sets it apart from other flashlights. I do like these particular flashlights because they look so different. Lumintop does have a lot of flashlights like that. They have the, I believe, the Elfin. Sunwayman did a few flashlights in the past that were pretty much designer flashlights and looked kind of neat. Jetbeam also did some. I'm not sure if Nightcore did any, but I do know that Jetbeam did do some. I remember 47s actually did. So, but Lumintop does have quite a few. If you can go to their website and check some of them out. They got the Prince. They had the Worm a long time ago. That was kind of a cool looking flashlight. But they got the Prince, the Duke. They've got the Elfin, I believe, and they have the. I forgot. Just pulled this out of the package. The first time I've used it. There is a lip inside here that makes the flashlight stop at a certain point. So don't jam this all the way on there. And so turn it on. So that's the diffuser. Now it's not the diffuser you guys are probably used to seeing, where it's a lens cap where it's got a diffused lens on the front of it and still projects a beam outward. This is more like a you know, kind of like a candle, but a 600 lumen candle. But it's kind of that style, so it's not an actual. It's not going to reflect the beam outward like you guys are thinking. So, oh, it glows green. I didn't know that. Wow, learn something new every day. Okay, so it glows green when you guys are done with it. So yeah, that is the Lumintop Duke.